Hello and welcome to Pereira Sports Network. My name's Manny. This is the NFL podcast on Pereira Sports Network. Today, though, I am not alone. As I introduce to you my boy Mark, good friend of mine. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Happy to be here.
But yeah, as I said earlier on the Leading in Unity pod, usually this channel is going to be very interactive, bringing friends over and doing fun stuff like this, like talking NFL. Expect to see other sports soon, but today we're just going to focus on football and mostly the AFC. So without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. This is the AFC playoff picture. Bang. Bills are in the 1 seed at 12-3. Chiefs 2 seed 12-3. The reason why the Bills are ahead is because they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead earlier in the season, so they got the tiebreaker. Cincy's there at 11-4. Cincy's very interesting though, because they play Buffalo this week and they already beat Kansas City. So if they win this week on Monday, today's Monday, so next week, and the Chiefs lose one game, then the Bengals have the top spot because they have the tiebreaker. Jaguars, the frisky Jaguars. I mean,
Really.
I guess they're pretty good. Are in the 4 seed at top of the AFC South. The Ravens are the 5 seed, and they could still contend for that division. They play Week 18 against Cincy, so that should be a fun one. Excuse me. The Chargers are at the 6 seed. They already clinched. So did the Ravens. Everyone here except for the Dolphins, who are sitting right now at the 7 seed, though that is not a comfortable spot right now, and the Jaguars. Those are the only two teams that haven't clinched. Other than that, we finally get to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, not right now. Outside looking in are the Patriots at 7-8, the Jets at 7-8, the Titans, and the Steelers. I mean, I think they're not talked about enough. I mean, we'll probably get into that later on. I mean, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record in his career. Never. He's gone 8-8, I think, once. Excuse me. But right now, I'll give Mark the floor soon because I want to talk AFC South, go over this a little bit. Right now, the Jaguars are up in first place because they beat the Titans earlier in the season. They play week 18. This week, the Jaguars play. I know the Titans play the Cowboys on Thursday, and the Jags play the Texans. So I think they lost earlier in the year. The Texans actually beat them. Yeah, definitely.
Think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
they did. Um, so it's not like that might not be a complete mop, but I think I mean Jags should win this week. Now the Titans are they're an interesting one because I don't think they're just gonna go out that easy, and they've lost five in a row. I know the Cowboys are still in contention for the 1 seed technically, but they could fall apart, and they beat themselves a lot for many years. Dak isn't as trustworthy as a lot of people think. Turns the ball over a lot, and a team like Tennessee, who made the Chiefs, the unstoppable Chiefs, maybe the best quarterback we've ever seen on the field. Now, obviously, the GOAT talk is different. He doesn't have the accolades yet, but I think he might be the best quarterback we've ever seen play. Anyways, this debate for another time. They made him that defense could play. Like they didn't look that great against them. Malik Willis, if he could just contain who I like. I mean, I have a Liberty shirt on, so I might be a little biased, but he's not he's good, talented. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, is decently accurate, and they just run the ball and do all that great stuff around him. I think they could win a game because he played well at Arrowhead. But I don't know. Who do you think is going to win the division first, Mark?
I think that I think Trevor's dangerous. They're dangerous right now. Like they're just when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it like they play the Texans this week, which is everyone's thinking is a no-brainer. They should win. I know they
Yeah,
lost some earlier in the year,
good.
but they were also not on this crazy streak that they're on. The Texans are already mentally planning for next year, so they should have a win this year. I mean, this week. As long as the Titans don't win out, I think the Jaguars are fine.
No, but this is interesting. If the Titans lose this week, they'll be 7-9,
That's
and
huge.
let's say the Jags win, they'll be 8-8.
The
If the
Titans.
Titans beat the Jags week 18, the Titans win the division because they'll have the same record and the Titans will have the tiebreaker because they won later in the year. So, because like it doesn't matter that they split, whoever won the second game will
Yeah.
take the spot. So I don't that I mean either which way,
Uh,
I'm like basically what happens. So basically what happens this week doesn't really matter because
no, because the
next
Titans
week's
have to
gonna
win this
be
week.
next week's gonna be for the division no matter what. If the Titans win and the Jaguars lose,
The
7 and
problem
9 and 8 and 8, it's the same thing. Next week's gonna be
the problem is I don't think I would be surprised if that Titans team comes and goes and beats Dallas.
I
So
wouldn't
that's
be
why I
either.
think that Texans game is huge because if you lose to the Texans and they lose to Dallas and you give them the opportunity, I think the Titans beat them in week 18.
Well, yeah, but either way, they have the opportunity, is what I'm trying to say. Next week, no matter what, is for the division. They have the same record.
Yeah.
So if one team lose, let's say the Texans pull off the upset and the Titans lose, obviously they'll have the same record. But even if the Titans win, they'll be 8 and 8. The Jags will be 7 and 9. If the Jags win, they're both 8 and 9, and the Jags win the division. So it doesn't matter. This week literally
Yes.
does not matter. So I don't know, which is really weird how that works. But this week really does not matter. I think it's just a. I think this week is going to be a bigger story for the Titans because if Malik
Yeah.
Willis pulls up on Thursday and they give him 20 throws and he completes 15 and he looks good because I think he looked really good against the Chiefs. Like
He shows flashes.
yeah, his stats weren't there, but obviously he's raw. He's really talented. He had a really nice sideline throw that not every quarterback in the NFL could make. So I would love to see. I'm really intrigued to see what happens on Thursday. So honestly, I love Trevor Lawrence. I love Trevor Lawrence. Like I think he's a dog. I don't think there's five young quarterbacks you'd want for the
That's
next
another discussion.
That is another. But I really don't. I don't. You can't name five. Definitely. Maybe you can't name three. But that's really hot and bold. But injury, whatever. That's another. That's a fun discussion for another time. A fun debate. But I love T Law. But after seeing the Jags just fall apart against Detroit, now I know Detroit was like the hottest team in the NFL at the time. But they just dropped 40. Like this is a team that could fall apart. Lawrence had that late fumble against the Cowboys. Like they're not mistake free. When the Titans are playing good football, they are pretty much mistake free. I mean, they
When you let
rarely
Derrick
beat them.
Henry,
They rarely beat themselves. Just last week, where Malik Willis threw a couple picks. Um, but I think after seeing the adjustments, they're gonna watch the film. He'll be fine. Like he'll adjust. He's a humble dude, hardworking guy. Like that's not what I doubt. The thing we doubt about him at the quarterback position is the accuracy and doing the little things. Now, give me a second. Um, Now I think they'll be fine. I like the Jaguars. They run the ball decently. Obviously, the Titans run the ball better. Their defense is a little inconsistent. But Jaguars, Titans, I'm gonna pick the Titans to win this division. I don't think they're just gonna go out like that. And I don't think and I love Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think he's gonna make the play. I don't think man, it's just hard to pick Tennessee to win to lose 7 of their last 8 games or win or lose all no or lose all 7, lose 7 straight. Like they can't just end the season like that. I don't see it happening. I'm gonna give you the floor for a second, for
I
a minute.
think I think majorly when if you let Derrick Henry take over a game, it's impossible. Like as the Jaguars, if you let Derrick Henry take over that game, they're gonna lose. And it's to the point where, especially like a young quarterback and Malik Willis, you need to go in that game and say, I'm going to let Malik Willis beat us. We have to stop Derrick Henry. And if Willis beats us, then so be it. But make sure it's not Derrick Henry, which I don't think they're going to do that. So that's why I think Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL. And I think he's going to be the best running back in the NFL and bring them to the playoffs. Whether they're going to do anything in the playoffs is a different subject, but I think they'll get it there.
So yeah, I mean, we're going against what most people think. A lot of people have the Jags winning this division. I just think they're going to keep Lawrence off the field. And I don't think Malik Willis is going to be a complete liability for the rest of this NFL season. But we shall see. We have another week. They play on Thursday, so we'll see how they look. Anyways, moving on. I want to talk a little bit about. I want to leave the best for last, actually. So I think I want to leave like the bottom for last because I think that's the most interesting and it's what we have the most,
That's
I guess, stats
crazy.
about. And Mark is a really big Jets fan, so it'll be fun. Quickly though, I want to go over the one seed. There's three teams in contention. Obviously, we got four. Actually, there's four:
Chiefs.
the
Yeah.
Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Bills. I don't think. I mean, for the Ravens to make it, a lot of things have to happen. They oh no, but they
No,
lost to.
no, they're done.
No, I think they could. I'm pretty sure they can because
No, they're done.
are they? If
Yeah,
they win out and the Chiefs lose
no,
out, like a lot of ridiculous stuff has to
no, it
happen.
would literally be impossible because the Bills and the Bengals play each other. So
But
one of them has to
but then the
win.
Bengals and the Ravens play for the division. So if the Bengals beat the Bills,
So you, yeah,
yeah, they
because
have five losses.
yeah,
Never mind. Yeah,
then you
you're
have the
right. You're right.
tiebreaker. They're
You're
impossible.
right. So there's three teams. Chiefs. Either way, no one's gonna pick the Ravens, even if it was mathematically possible. Chiefs, Bengals, Bills. I'm gonna. I mean,
I
obviously,
have my
three
team
best
already.
quarterbacks in the AFC. So if you're a team like the Jets, that like this is telling you got a good quarterback, don't waste time. But we'll save that for later. Three best quarterbacks in the AFC are the three teams at the top of the food chain right now in the playoff seed. I'm gonna pick Cincy. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Cincy because I feel like I think the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs winning the AFC no matter what. But for the one seed, I mean, look, because this week I have the Chiefs on upset alert. I know this is crazy. I love Kansas City. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl. They really are. But I don't think they have. I don't think they need the one seed for that. I really don't. I think Mahomes is gonna go on some crazy like just with these win these road playoff games, and just, I think he's that good. But I have them on upset alert for two reasons. The main reason is every time a team fires their head coach and they have an interim, they come out the next week hot. Like they just come out way better. They do. They come out on their toes like they're better. Now the Broncos are a complete mess and a crapshoot, and I'm not. I mean, look, I would obviously would not be surprised if they lose. I expect them to lose, but I have the Chiefs on upset alert for that. And Russell Wilson had a really good second half against this defense. I mean, he's been horrible the rest of the season, except for like that one half against the Chiefs, where he was pretty darn good. And can he repeat that? I mean, I wouldn't with an interim and the Broncos run the ball well. I think it's they've never now they've what am I doing? They've never beat the Chiefs, but I don't know. I just feel it in my gut. I do. They've never beat the Chiefs in the Mahomes era. But I think the Chiefs might lose a game, which will set up for. And the Raiders are a tough, frisky team. They always play the Chiefs well, always without fail. They always play the Chiefs well. I think they might lose one of those games, and the Bengals slide in the one seed. But don't quote me on that. You go, Mark.
Right. First of all,
You have Kansas City, obviously.
okay, one. All right, Kansas City's gonna win. Okay, Kansas City got the one seed. If they're going to lose a game, it's gonna be Week 18 because, like you said, that was 100% right. That the Raiders and Kansas City, doesn't matter how bad the Raiders are every season, they got their number. It's always a good game, always.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that Derek Carr, some people are saying he's playing for his job. There's a lot of weird stuff going around over there. So I could see that maybe they're not losing to the Broncos. That is no.
Yeah.
All I know is after what I just watched this weekend, the Broncos they need a lot of fixing down there, like a lot. Um, but I think and I know the Bills have it's just the Chiefs have the two easiest games. And I think if they win out, I think it's there's no. I think they're
Well, yeah,
gonna.
I mean the
I
Bills
think the
could
Bills are
just
gonna lose this
the
week.
Bills could run the table, but I mean they haven't been consistent enough for me to say that they're gonna end the season winning 8 straight. I don't see that happening. And they're not supposed to. Like they should have lost in Miami or they were at Buffalo, but it was against Miami. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them. They're really inconsistent. Like the fumbles at the end of the game, they almost lost to the Jets. Like they almost got swept by the Jets. I know they're a good team, but if you're like the quarterback comparison is very vast in that area. You shouldn't be putting up just 20 against the Jets if you're really Josh Allen, the second best quarterback, but thought of by most people in the National Football League. I mean, they just squeak by these wins. The game against Chicago this past week is like their only blowout all season. Like the closest thing was when they beat the Steelers by like 40. But other than that, I mean, it's just been the Steelers and the Bears, and then they beat the Packers by 2 scores. But they don't win. They squeak by too many teams, and I don't think that's going to work against Cincy. I think the Patriots are still frisky, whether they lose this week and or whatever, and they're still playing for a playoff spot if they win this week. But I don't. I just think the Bengals are going to run the table, and then they're going to get a little bit ahead of themselves and lose for the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's exactly why I have the Chiefs, because the Bills have been in 10 one possession games this season. 10 against, like, you're looking at teams like they're not good teams either. I mean, obviously you have your good teams like the Ravens where they close out, the Chiefs, they closed out, but then you have like the Jets, that one possession game they lost. Then you have that a Browns team that's not so good, one possession. Lions, one possession. Like, and then you have
By the
to
way,
like,
sorry. The reason they lose, they're always in these one possession games is because they can't run the football outside of Josh Allen. I don't think you could win a Super Bowl not running the football. And I know we're only talking about the 1 seed. Like they could probably get the 1 seed, but you can't win a Super Bowl not running. They can't put teams away because they can't run the ball. They always, and that's why Allen makes these mistakes at the end of the game because he always has the ball in his hands, right? And it's not like he's the most fundamental guy either. He's pretty reckless at times with the football, and he always has it in his hands. He's always the one making a play. Anyways, enough of that because we're short on time. I want to go towards the last seed, and I'm just gonna give Mark the floor. I want you to tell me who's grabbing that 7 seed.
so I think the Dolphins, even though they're the favorite right now because they're there, they're up a game, but there's a lot going on with that Tua situation, and I don't think he's gonna play this week. A lot say that he's done because the NFL is under too much criticism under the whole concussion thing. So I think the Patriots have a really good chance. I know the Patriots have a big game where they have to go to Buffalo week 18, which is kind of like
Yeah,
iffy because you got to go to Buffalo, which is not.
I think they can't. Oh yeah, if the Chiefs lose and the Bills win, they clinch.
So that's why this is so biased, but
Yeah,
we
you
the
have the
Jets played the Seahawks this week, which I think Mike White's back. Zach Wilson, that's another situation. He's back.
that's that. Zach Wilson is inactive, so he's not gonna play.
So Mike White's active. They already said he's going to start. I think we play Seattle. I think we beat Seattle, and then we play the Dolphins week 18, and that's for the spot. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah,
Javi's
it's
going.
going to be that game for the spot. So if the Dolphins beat the Jets, that it's that game. Which, as a Jets fan, I'm picking the Jets.
Look, I think it's set up for the Jets now that Tua was hurt. But we both said something earlier. By the way, it's not just easy to win at Seattle. That's one thing. I don't see Seattle winning 4 straight under Pete Carroll and Geno, and this is gonna be a good one for Geno Smith. You already know he has you already know this game means a little something more. So obviously that's the game for the Jets. Even if they win, it might not matter. We both said something. We both think the Titans. I have them winning this week, personally. Obviously that it's inconsistent with if Malik Willis isn't at least decent, they're not gonna win. But I have them winning. I mean, the Cowboys aren't that consistent where I think they could just run the table and get the 1 seed if the Eagles fall off or be the 2 seed. So Titans win on Thursday, and I think the Jags win as well. who's to say? I mean, it's still possible for both of them to make it. So I don't know. Actually, wait. I don't. Did the Jets play the Titans? I know they lost to the Jags. Yeah, they played the Titans
They did play the Titans.
and they won that game. Do you remember?
Um, no, I don't think they played them.
Oh no, they didn't play the
They
Titans.
didn't play the Titans.
They didn't play the Titans. So the
Yeah.
Jags won. So there has to be a lot of weird stuff happen where they both win and the Jets lose a game, but the Jags lose in like let's say they're both A and the Jags lose. The Jags have the tiebreaker. It's so weird. It's really weird. But I think it's possible, especially if the Dolphins lose two in a row.
You're gonna.
So do I have that happening? Maybe not. I mean, I really like the Pats. Not no, I don't really like them actually because their OC is it's a mess on the offensive side of the ball. But I don't think you could just write them off. The way like they should have beat Cincy if Stevenson doesn't fumble there, and I have him in fantasy. But anyways, that's another thing. They should have beat Cincy at the goal line there. They're a solid team. Like they just can't go away that easily. But then again, when Mike White has been on the field, the Jets are a completely different offense. Their defense is tremendous. Jets are a good team. If the game was at MetLife, I would pick them against Seattle. They're the favorite for some reason. I thought Seattle would be the favorite, but Pete Carroll still fighting for a spot. I think the Seahawks win at their home turf. I wouldn't be surprised if both AFC South teams make it. Can Teddy Bridgewater win one more game? Do you think he can against the Patriots and the Jets?
I don't know.
That's the thing right there. That's the X factor. So I think the Jets lose this week. I'm gonna just pick the Miami because I think Teddy Bridgewater could win one more game. But I would watch out for both AFC South teams to make it because I think that's very much in play. Very,
I
very
just
much in play.
really thinking about it, like as a Jets fan, you're looking at this. They have really had this, like how this is setting up. They just lost four straight, and they still have a great chance of making this playoff. They lost four straight.
I
That's
know,
crazy.
but that's because of the quarterback.
Yeah, but so I think the Steelers I would write off. Their quarterback situation is not good. I
Oh yeah,
think
we didn't even talk about Pittsburgh.
I think it's not even worth mentioning. I was gonna say that because I think the way that everything like they're just a weird and yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Them personally, I think you could write off because I think the Titans, like you said, I wasn't really looking at that. That could really happen because, like you said, like is it crazy that they went out?
No, it's
No.
not. And if the Jags win this week, they could both make it because the
Yeah,
Jags
which
beat
is
the Jets.
crazy because that
And,
was everyone
but a
saying
lot
that's
of
going
things have to
to happen.
happen. I mean, the Dolphins have to lose out. The Patriots have to beat the Dolphins, but then lose to the Bills. The Jets have to lose one game. I mean, it's actually not that crazy, but it's very possible
Yeah,
that they both
like
make
it says in our chart, 1%.
it. It does. Wow,
Yeah, a 1% chance.
a 1% chance of the wild card for the Titans.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally, and less than
mathematically,
1%. Actually, less than 1%.
mathematically on the list, the Patriots are higher than the Jets, but mathematically, the Jets have a higher percentage. But it's just
It should be higher. There's no way it's less than 1%. I think it's possible. I mean, maybe that doesn't account for the Tua injury. I don't know.
maybe.
Teddy wasn't good, man. Like neither was Thompson. Teddy wasn't
Yeah.
great. They got blown out
I
by
think I
Florida.
wouldn't be. They're like I don't like the Dolphins. I think it's going to be one of those scary teams at the bottom, and I think the wild card this year is really like the wild card teams this year. Like the Chargers are dangerous.
Yeah, but I don't like their coach
I think they
personally.
can steal a
I,
game. That's
I
all I'm
don't
saying.
think
I'm not
so.
saying they're going to go deep. I think they can steal a game in both conferences. The wild cards are. That's why this is so big. Talking about who's going to get in, who's going to get out, because it's just a lot of good teams that could just slip in and slip out.
I mean, yeah, it could. It's interesting. This has been a very fun NFL season. Also, with the Steelers one, I wouldn't be surprised if they win this week on Sunday Night Football. And Tomlin, always has his teams coming out well. This defense isn't bad at all. It's
They
very good.
beat the Ravens.
They could. I'm not saying they are. I have the Ravens winning that game because it's at home. But I'm not writing them off completely. I think I'd probably say it's like 70-30. which isn't a great chance, but I'd probably say 70-30. Ravens obviously favorites. And then they have the Browns, which Deshaun Watson has not been great at all. Like he has not been good.
Yeah, he's
So
been.
I wouldn't write them off completely either, but I'd watch for the two AFC South teams. I'd say Teddy could win a game. I'm just saying. I'm
So
guessing
who's your pick?
he won 5-0 with Peyton like a couple of years. That wasn't that long ago with Sean Payton and the Saints. I mean, if he could just throw the ball to Tyreek and make something happen there, if they win this week, they're in. So it should be
Who's
fun.
your pick? If you had to pick one.
If they win this week, they're not in because I think the Jets could. Yeah, the Jets could see. If they win this game, if they win this week, they're prized like to be in. But I'm gonna have. I think the Dolphins win this week with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, and they're basically in. Now I would watch if they lose. If the Dolphins lose this week, and the Jets lose this week, I'm picking the two AFC South teams to both make it. Because I think the Titans win that game. So yeah, it should be fun. That would be insane. That would be crazy if that happens. And then we could see like Lawrence against one of those great quarterbacks. And if Lawrence steals that game, that would be huge. I mean, so many things could happen. That would
That's
be
it.
crazy.
So now look, this is the. I know we're talking about standings and all that, and who. Before we end the show,
Yeah.
who's your AFC favorite?
The Chiefs.
Okay, at least we're enough. We're in.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is the one guy that has had like weaponry wise, like a lot move around him and on his defense and everything, and he's still like, I mean, no Tyreek Hill, and he's might be better. Like he's
That's
really
why
good.
when you said it's not that big of a deal for the Chiefs to get the one, I disagree. I love the Chiefs. You know, Mahomes is. I think I'm one of those people that think he's the most talented quarterback we've ever seen, like
Mhm.
ever. And but that one seed is big because I think that's the difference whether you play the Bengals and
No, they're gonna play them either way.
regardless.
Thing
But
is that
do you want to play the Bills and the Bengals?
I think they don't care about. I think they want to see Buffalo. Like I really think they.
Yeah, but you don't want to see both of them. I don't think you want to see both of them, and
Well, to beat Cincy,
I don't think they beat both of them. That's what I'm saying.
okay,
I don't think they beat
if
both of
they
them.
beat Cincy, you're picking Buffalo to win that game in Buffalo.
I don't know. That's still I
You're
don't know.
not. You're not. You're
I don't
not.
know. You don't think Cincy can beat them?
Can Cincy beat? Yeah, Cincy.
That's a
Obviously.
scary team.
Yeah. Oh no, but wait. If they don't get the one seed and the Bills do,
Yeah.
they would play Buffalo first, and I think they beat Buffalo. Now, by the time you're already in the conference championship game, why can't they might get Jacksonville or Tennessee in the wild card.
It goes both ways. I just think the one, it's like rest. It gives you a lot of rest. There's a lot of like
Yeah, but a
things
lot
that
of
go
teams
into
come out.
it.
I
A
mean, no,
lot of
they'll be fine. I don't worry about them coming out flat. A team like the Bills, maybe. I mean, we're gonna go too off, so I'm gonna just cut it off here. I like the Chiefs are winning the AFC no matter what. The one seed is not guaranteed though, but I think they win the AFC no
I
matter.
agree. I agree. I agree.
But yeah, anyways, we're gonna end it off there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mark, for doing this with me. This was actually pretty much. This was really smooth, actually smoother than I expected. Obviously, these episodes will get better as the time goes on. Thank you so much for watching. This was the NFL podcast on the Pereira Sports Network. Again, look out for more content soon on other sports. But thank y'all. Y'all be blessed and have a great day.